Good morning. I hope you're well. It's the 3rd of January and I'm out having a little walk today. What I'm wanting to do is, well, there's a geocache I want to find, and then I'm going to have a look for some places to possibly stealth camp that are a little bit urban. And I'm also going to have a look down the River Foss because early last year I did a paddle on the River Foss and I didn't get too far in one direction, and I want to see how navigable it actually is. I'm also planning a night paddle on there at some point soon because I think that could be kind of fun. But in the meantime, walking. Those willow trees look magnificent in summer, and they do look quite special now, really, with their long, droopy branches. It's a bit of a mucky morning on Monk Stray there, which is why I'm sticking to the road, even though I've got my good boots on. We are getting some bursts of sunshine this morning, and I think you can see that in the shadows on the Stray there. Not an unpleasant morning by any stretch. Now there is a geocache just through those trees there, which I found a little while ago. But that's not the one we're looking for today. It's the 3rd of January today, and it's a Monday, and it's the bank holiday after New Year. It's actually good to get out, get a bit of exercise, because I haven't done much. I've had a very relaxing period between Christmas and New Year. Done a couple of camps, you might have seen the videos. Done a camp on Christmas Eve and a camp on New Year's Eve, which were a lot of fun. I'd definitely do those again. Nevertheless, as I say, I have had a very lazy period, and it is good to get out and stretch the old legs and start working off some of the Christmas indulgences. Let's have a look at the old Apparuni, 0.2 miles away. Nothing particularly exciting to see on this trip today, I don't think. Ooh, look at those houses, they're unusual, aren't they, with the wooden walls. Don't I just bring you to all the best places and show you all the best sights? Whenever I see bits of flat ground like this sandwiched in urban areas, I do get the urge to stick a tent up. I'm going for a nosy, see if there's a quiet corner, see if I can get away with it somewhere. See, that is a really nice quiet corner. Only problem is, look, you're surrounded by observers. Who else out of the camping community gets a little bit envious when you see spots like this that are a little bit out of range? Look at that for a tree. It's quite epic, isn't it? Okay, according to this, we're not too far away now, 400 or so feet, and actually, because of where I have to go to get to it, I'm actually walking away from it. And that's because I have to go across here and then double back. Those clouds are looking rather ominous. One of the reasons I thought this one would be a good one to do today, though, is even though this is in an industrial estate, with it being a bank holiday, I knew much of it would be closed. Thinking ahead. Found it. Okay, so now we've got that found. First find of 2022. Nice. So now I'm heading down now to the River Foss to walk along the bank there and to check that out. So I'm going to walk down so far and then back up to Huntington Road area where I kind of launched, because I want to see, as I say, how much of it's navigable. And also, it should be quite a nice walk because it's very country-y, if you know what I mean. And there might be some places where I might be able to stick a tent at some point. Now, if I'm not mistaken, just down this... Oh no, it's not this one. Oh no, here we go. Ah, there it is. I can see it through the trees. There's a bridge going across the river here. Bit mucky. You see, all this bit of the river looks paddleable. So what I'm going to do is, that way takes you to town. So I'm going to walk down that way first and see what it's like. Just before I set off, I just saw this sign at the top of the bank here. That isn't an invitation to do a cheeky camp, I don't know what is. But there looks like there's a lot of potential along here. Wonder what that board says there. Well, that's interesting. There's loads of kind of nature reserve signs on, including one with animal tracks, which is quite cool. Lots of hedgehoggy stuff. Look at that tree there. Just goes to show you do have to be careful when you're camping in woodland, because you wouldn't know that some rot has occurred here in the tree, which presumably at some point in a strong wind has made that go. It's not always the obvious stuff that's directly above you. So while I'm up here, I'm actually going to continue walking along this bit. The river is just down that side there, but I can always come back that way to check for whether it's navigable or not. There is lots of possibility through here. Granted, there's a track here, a trail, and it's going to be a heavily used dog walking spot, but I can just see so much scope for discreetly sticking a low profile tent. If it hasn't already been done here, I'd be very surprised. So much potential for a little stealth camp, where if you were to pitch quite late, it'd be relatively quiet. This is all new build housing over there, I think, or that actually might be a new hospital development that's popped up on Haxby Road, that's it. Let me get my bearings right. And that, I believe, over there, the big white building just coming into view from behind those trees, if I'm not mistaken, that's Yearsley Grove swimming pool. Bit boggy in places. Let's go a bit further up. I mean, looking at all this trail here, I mean, it does obviously get walked, this area. Probably dog walkers. I can smell toast, and it's making me hungry. Anyway, so I've come from over there. There's quite a mound in the middle here, and I'm not sure what that's about. I thought it might be a bit of a bog, but it's not. Something's been digging holes. So you cheeky stealth campers, would you pop up here and stick your tent up? Let me know in the comments. Gotta say, I am glad that I put my good walking boots on today and not the Skechers shoes, trainer shoes, because it is in places. I mean, look at this here. Okay. In fact, all down that bank's pretty hideous there, isn't it? Wow. I'm actually a bit surprised how muddy it is down here. It's muddy, by the look of it, all the way down the bank. I mean, that person walking down there that you might be able to see, they've got wellies on. And I do not fancy heading down there. It's very boggy. So I think I'm going to see how far I can get this way, because it still gives me a bird's eye view of the river. And so far, all the way down here, it's looking navigable. So let's just keep going, eh? Right, I found myself back by the riverbank. And I'm just trying to stay out of all that clart. Mind you, the walk kind of runs out here. So this is actually the end of the path, because that's the gate out. But I need to check. This is actually flowing quite strong today. And as I was saying, I need to check what it's like further down to see whether it's navigable. There is like a fence passing down there. I think I can get so far along here, and it looks like other people have done the same, judging by all the litter. Quite a steep drop if I get this wrong though. Into the water. It's going to be a bit tight getting through here. I'm having to go really low, and there are some roses here as well, which make it they're hard to grasp. I'm not sure I can really get much further through here. Then again, fortune favours the bold and all that. And I am through. That was fun. Now I can see where the river bends up ahead. And it does look like there's something across there. There's only one thing for it. Well, I'm pleased to say that looks like it's just grass that's in the way. Doesn't look like there's anything harsh underneath it. And the next question is how far can I get? Because I can't go any further down there. How far can I get through here? If at all. Oh, not at all. And this is why this area is probably not used. Yeah, you can't get through there. Damn. Or can you? Oh. No. I didn't know this existed. So there's this beck down here that runs into the foss by the look of it. And then it's all fenced off at the back there, down to the road. So I'm going to have to go back out, retrace my steps, and head back then down here and have a look at it from that direction. It's not the easiest of routes. I do make things hard for myself sometimes. Nevertheless, it is nice to do a little bit of exploring, isn't it, hey? I think you can see what I mean by this little pathway down here being a bit narrow. One slip and it's in you go. I'm having to use my free hand to hold me onto the side, just in case. And then here it gets really interesting. I did get through here, so I'm going in. Right, made it. Now to head up here and follow the road for a little bit. So this is New Earswick on the outskirts of York. Right, okay, so I found the foss again. I'm still relatively close to the roadside. Can you see how fast it's moving down here? That's moving at quite a pace, isn't it? I'm guessing it's relatively shallow here. Right, so I've just had a little coffee break, and a bit further up there's a bridge, and that was about as far as I thought I could paddle, because I've been down here before for a walk. And it's very shallow underneath that bridge, and I don't think I'd be able to get any further unless I portage the boat. But even so, that would still be a nice paddle from town to here. And as you can tell, still very much roadside. But let's go and have a look. I think it's quite obvious that it's still very shallow underneath that bridge. There's a lot of chop in this area where the river flows, and you can see that there is a V in the water where the water is flowing round something. In the middle there's some kind of obstruction. Yeah, and there it is. Not quite sure what's under there. You can see the bottom here. The river is flowing quite strong at the moment because we've had a lot of rain. So when all this has flown off, all this excess water, it will be a lot shallower. And there isn't really anywhere where you could get the boat out and portage it. The only possibility on that score would be to walk it through, kind of with your feet in the river, and then get back in further up. That's a possibility, I guess. I'm not planning on going any further up here today. My aim was just to check out this area here. I've got quite a bit of stuff to do at home, so I'm going to head back and see what it's like further down. There are some lovely properties with lovely long stretches of garden down to the river here. I've been thinking about it, you know, and as far as camping in that whole area is concerned, which is where I was looking at earlier, I'm not sure I'd be comfortable doing it. Whoops, nearly slipped. Ooh. Mostly because I think my mind would just play tricks with me all night, and I'd be forever thinking there'd be people around. I don't like the idea of that. It's a little bit too urban for me. Right, I'm back to the bridge where I began this little riverside bimble. So now I'm going to head up in that direction. And yeah, the river at this point, it's all good. It's flowing a lot less slower here. That's because it's a little bit deeper, I'm guessing. Still a bit muddy and murky down this path. These people here in front of me are walking either side of the path and staying on the grass. Quite wise, I think. Again, there are more nice properties down here with riverside views. And again, down this stretch, I'm not seeing any paddling issues, potentially. In fact, there is a kayak on the water there, a hard shell. And a couple of hard shells knocking about there. Ooh, heck. It's very mucky along this bit. Right, so I was wrong earlier on about that other building being Yearsley Grove swimming pool, because it's here. I've got to say, looking at this path, the rest of this walk is going to be dirty. Oh God. And unfortunately, nearly went. There isn't really any way back without going through the same And I do want to check out what the rest of this river's like up here, because when I did paddle on here, I was stopped by somebody who told me that I really couldn't go any further. And I do need to check to see how true that is, because he wasn't a paddler, he was a walker. I feel like a ballerina this morning, doing my damnedest to stay upright. Oh heck. Again, I'm not seeing any issues yet. And just around the bend from having said that, oh yeah, what's going on here? Somebody's dumped some old clothes. Yeah, just round the bend from having said I'm not seeing any issues. Look at that. Now yeah, that is potentially quite an issue. Plus there's a weir there. Now what happens here is there's a bit of a loop. So it's all part of the same river because it splits. In other words, there's like an island here. Stop rambling, Carl. All right, and it kind of loops around the island. Now, okay, here's a plan. You could actually come up that bit there, and then might have to wriggle it around. Looks like there's a little land piece there. Oh no, it's just, I don't know. That's, you see, that's weed. Over that area, that's all weed and stuff that's gathered against another fallen branch. Jigger. So yeah, I really might not have got much further. Oh, and there's a weir here too. So you've got two weirs. So just up there, you've got that fallen branch and the weir going that way. And then here, another weir. And yes, it was literally just around this corner up ahead where there's a bridge. I can just see the bridge now. And that's where I was sat in the kayak talking to a chap who was telling me I wouldn't really be able to get any further. Just here. So he was right. Well, at least that's good to know. But having said that, there's an island here, and it looks like it's got some flat ground on it. And you can paddle all the way up here. You could get out along here and camp on that little island. Now that could be fun. I'm seeing quite a lot of potential over there for either a tent or a hammock. I've just been having another look at this. I walk back up. I am seeing so much scope here for places to be able to get out. It'd be easy to get out. Mucky. Well, it looks mucky at the moment, but once it's dried up a little bit, so many options and places where you could get out of the boat, drag it up out of the way, and camp in the middle of that island. Now, what do you reckon? I reckon that sounds like an adventure. If you think I should do that, let me know in the comments. A big yes or a big no. In fact, if you think I should do it, give this video a thumbs up. If you don't think I should do it, give it a thumbs down. I feel like I've hit a bit of a mother lode there for potential fun. Thumbs up means yes, thumbs down for no. Go. I'm really not sure what's going on with all these dumped clothes. Anyway, I digress. So that island is just underneath that bridge through there. I am really quite excited. I didn't expect to find anything like that this morning. Right, so I'm just going to head home now. Mind you, this little bridgey thing here, this pipe bridge, brings back memories when I paddled under there. That's a duck down. First time out in the Story Kayak, that was. That was good fun. I think one of the reasons why I like the idea of doing a cheeky camp on that little island so much is nobody can get to you. Once you're on a little island, people have to have boats to get to you. So you really are in quite a safe place. I'm going to wrap this video up here. I'm just walking back home now by the river. If you've enjoyed it, please give the video a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. It's up to you. If you like what I'm doing on the channel, if you hit that bell notification and the subscribe button, it doesn't cost you anything. It just means that when you open YouTube up, you'll get a little red notification if ever I've uploaded any new videos. And you won't want to miss out now, would you? I mean, this is exciting stuff going on here. Venturing into 2022, and I'm already making plans. How cool is that? All right, thank you so much for watching. You take care of yourself. Cheerio.